been thinking a lot about shame, how sticky and slithery it is, how many spend a lifetime avoiding it, trying to compartmentalize it, push it away, instead of simply admitting its presence. What is it teaching me? Just like anything else. Instead of breaking through it or breaking down, what if we broke open? What if we came to a place, and I will quote my sources for this particular talk, because I borrowed from a lot of great minds here on this one. Did a lot of reading to get to the point where I can just say this without writing anything down. We have resistance and pressure when it comes to shame. All of us. But we can pass through that pretty easily. It's simple. You dismantle whatever's blocking you. Because you don't have to be exiled. You can be the prodigal son again and again. You don't have to live like a refugee. Tom Petty. You don't have to be estranged or disconnected from your tribe. Ruth Benedict and Bonhoeffer and Gabor Mate and Pema Chodron and Jesus Christ can all agree here. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. But the disclaimer here is we are no Jesus Christ. Because the ashamed person, this is a very human trait across the board, we don't take kindly to the clearest mirrors. The ones who are so reflective and can see through us and reflect who we really are in the moment back at us. If we are wise enough, if we're doing the work, we might admire that person and be grateful for them. But without the work, we'll loathe them. We will attack them because we'll be fearful. Oh my gosh, they're showing this version of me that I don't want to see. It's not true. It must be them. It's their problem, not mine. That's rarely true in my case. I can't speak for anything else or anyone else. But these situations that cause me to break open repeatedly give me more courage. Because each time I think I'm breaking down and look like I'm coming apart, I'm actually bonding with the wholeness. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. But this all came from a quote that I heard recently. Break often. Not like porcelain, but like waves. Sherzad Shavan, I'm not sure I'm saying her name right. She's the author of Bone Tongue, The Bluest Collie. I happen to have Bone Tongue here on the shelf. I haven't read it yet, so I'm looking forward to it. Break often. Not like porcelain, but like waves. How do we declutter or decompress or decompartmentalize this feeling of shame, the grief, the loss, the confusion? How do we come through that into liberation? How do we neutralize it? How do we confess the shame we feel and let go of the resistance to it? I'm going to go with a word that I barely understand. Etymology and the meanings of this word are so confusing to me because it sounds very over my pay grade, so to speak. It's a little high for me. Compassion. And yet it's a very simple action. It's a word that I consider to be a verb. It's a feeling that motivates me to help people. It's being with, not for. I don't feel for you. I don't feel for your situation. I feel with you. When you tell me you are hurting, your sadness is not inspiring sympathy within me. I don't feel bad for you. Oh, poor you. I feel like, wow, yeah, this is hard. I'm with you. I want to alleviate that stress, suffering, and pain. I want to take it from you even, but suffering together. And this isn't like misery loves company. It's more like back to the shame. What can we do to forgive ourselves and stay open with this stickiness of shame. A lot of our habits, coping mechanisms, and masks come from this place. I've seen it repeatedly in people I knew very well and quite intimately, and even in strangers. It's poisonous for everyone. Addictions, violence, disconnection, unconsciousness itself. We want to anesthetize. We want to numb ourselves because it hurts too much to hit it straight on. That's why so many people have trouble in silence and want to be busy, busy, busy to alleviate the very thing we've been running from that will transform us. If we just stop running and turn around and ask one question: what are you teaching me? What do I need to hear? And then you can release it. Come on in, have some tea, but don't stay too long. Back to Bonhoeffer. If shame is the result of disunion or estrangement, as Dietrich Bonhoeffer spoke about in his book, Ethics, which I also have here on the shelf and have been referring to, then covering and concealing would be necessary, because we can't really afford to be estranged from our tribe. We would have to feel like an imposter then. But we can restore this by simply confessing, by simply laying it down. We all deserve to be forgiven. So start with you. If you have any of this, if you don't have any of this, congratulations. Give me a call, let me know how you did it. I have no assessment. I'm drawing no conclusions here. I don't have any answers, but I can tell you that I've lived and felt and seen all of it around the idea of this. And I'm happy to report that there is a way through it. This kindness, just to be mindful, to mend some relationships when you can, or at least be contrite, be apologetic with authentic sincerity. Life is a lot of suffering, you know. There's a lot going on for everyone. We all hurt at some point. And a lot of the damage we cause ourselves and others comes from simply just ignorance. You know, if I'm not engaged, if I don't know yet, how can I know? We're all learning. And we're all headed to the same place, the same direction, eventually. and that's the funny part. I'm making such a big deal about this word compassion, this word shame, and we're only here for a very short time. We can break this cycle of beating the crap out of ourselves. I hope you have a great weekend, and hope you go easy on yourself. You're loved.